my name is Lizzie, and for today's video we are talking about body. So this is a 2015 film, which I just watched this on Shudder, and it is about a group of three friends who on Christmas Eve break into a mansion and are faced with a moral dilemma when they accidentally kill the groundskeeper. So this film definitely seemed very interesting going into it. I was pretty excited, but unfortunately it was a little bit disappointing. There's not a whole lot of Christmas within this film. Really just kind of the opening scene of it when we first meet our three main characters. They've all gathered at Mel's house for Christmas, and that's basically the only Christmas part of it. Is just a little bit of the beginning of the film. The rest of it, even the house that they break into, isn't decorated for Christmas because the family of the house has gone away on vacation for Christmas. So I mean, it makes sense, but it just doesn't make the rest of the film feel very Christmassy, which was kind of disappointing. I feel like I could have reviewed this film anytime and it wouldn't have really mattered. So it's kind of a bummer. And yeah, the characters in this film are just not very likable at all. The main cast is these three female friends. Like I mentioned, Mel, Callie, and Holly. And they're just not likable at all. The opening scene is with them sitting around, like I said, Mel's house, and they're at least 21 because they're drinking and they're doing so in front of Mel's family. But they all act like they're teenagers. Just the way Mel talks to her father, she's like, "Oh, Dad, you're bothering us." And then just the way that she even talks to her younger brother is just, they all act like they're teenagers, and it's really annoying. They don't behave like adult friends who are, getting together on Christmas. They just are acting like teenagers, and it's really annoying, and it makes them really unlikable characters. Not that teenagers can't be likable characters, but in this setting, they aren't. They're just really obnoxious. And also just the decisions that they make throughout this film are all horrible. Especially from my point of view as a true crime fan, someone who listens to a lot of true crime podcasts, watches a lot of documentaries. Just the decisions these girls make absolutely no sense. And even Mel mentions at one point that she's going to law school, so you feel like she should know better, but she's letting Callie, who's kind of the leader, she's letting her make all of these decisions. She kind of bullies the other girls around. You can tell she's just that friend of the friend group who's always convince them to get into trouble and make bad decisions. And her decision making is not great, and there's so many times where you're no, that's not gonna pan out well. And she even goes on this rampage about how no matter what they do, they're not gonna get out of it unless they do it her way, and her way isn't going to work. You're just no, that's not going to work. And they do end up going a different route by the end of the film. And for all you know, by the end of the film, it works. It just kind of ends with, spoiler, it just kind of ends with the cop showing up, so you don't really know. There's no follow-up with the rest of the film, which is fine. Probably the best way to end it, but it's just, the entire time you're no, none of your decision making makes any sense, and it's all just bad. And yeah, I didn't enjoy the film because the characters were not likable and they were stupid as well. Though I will say it's not a very long film. It's like an hour, like maybe a couple minutes over an hour. So if you do decide to watch it, you're not wasting a whole lot of time watching it. And if it is something that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and watch it. And let me know if you feel any different. And if you have if you haven't seen this movie already, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. If you did enjoy this, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more horror-related content. Before I go, a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for helping contribute to the channel. If you want to know the perks to being a Patreon, links are in the description below, along with all of my social media. And I will see you guys again later with another video. Bye!